Radio Date with Dave. Now your local news.
Huntsville police are investigating a death at a Huntsville home. We'll have a live report coming up. A Madison County woman is awarded for doing a good job. And do you have a headache? 100 years of medicine could help. News Channel 19 at 10 starts now.
Now, from the #1 news team in the Tennessee Valley, first, live, local, on the story, at the scene. News Channel 19 at 10 starts right now.
At this hour, Huntsville police are investigating a death at a Huntsville home. Police aren't releasing many details, but crime scene units have spent hours at the home trying to find out what caused this person to die. Good evening and thank you for joining us for News Channel 19 at 10. I'm Amy Gunnan. News Channel 19's Tom Perkins is on Virginia Boulevard in Huntsville, where investigators have been on the scene all day. Tom joins us now on the telephone. Tom, what are investigators telling you?
Well, Amy, they're not saying much at this time. Investigators, they're being very tight-lipped about the situation, but we will tell you what we do know. Now, earlier this afternoon, investigators responded to this home in North Huntsville where a call had come in about a possible dead body. Now, for about 6 hours now, criminal investigators and crime scene units have been on the scene going through a chain of events to determine the cause of death. At this time, News Channel 19 does not know the cause of death or who the body is. We spoke with neighbors in the area. They say they were, there was a lot of traffic going in and out of the house at all hours of the night. They also say they believe illegal drugs were abundant in the house.
Bound to happen sometime. I was just scared for my kids, my family, living around there. I hate that it happened like this, but kind of glad that it's over.
You go to bed at night wondering if this is the night that the bullets are going to come flying through the bedroom windows. I mean, yeah, you think about that.
Now, in speaking with neighbors on all sides of the house, they did tell me they were very afraid of what all the activity going in and throughout the house, whether or not it was illegal or not. It, however, came to a tragic ending for one person. Reporting live in Huntsville via phone, Tom Perkins, News Channel 19.
Tom, one question for you. Are investigators still on the scene right now?
They are right now. I can see they are still inside the house. I'm not exactly sure as to what they're doing, but this is no doubt a long, drawn-out investigation, and hopefully if there are any details that come our way, we'll be sure to pass it on to you as they develop.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Tom.
Sure.
And now, weather first.
There's a very chilly breeze blowing here in the backyard right now. We're going to look for temperatures to drop into the low 30s overnight tonight under mostly clear skies. That wind's out of the northwest at 10 to 15. Tomorrow, not quite going to get as warm as today. Highs only around 50 degrees under sunny skies tomorrow. The sun's not going to warm us up too much. The wind will shift to out of the northeast tomorrow. Again, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Here's a look at the 5-day forecast. Clouds increasing on Monday. The chance for some very strong storms Monday night into Tuesday. Partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, and then a chance for rain once again on Thursday. We'll talk more about the 5-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes, Amy.
All right, thank you, Lila. A Madison County man is charged with attempted murder after going on a shooting rampage yesterday. 22-year-old Danny Button was arrested yesterday near his Owens Crossroad home after shooting at his own mother and sheriff's deputies. Button fired several shotgun blasts at officers as he got in his truck and blazed across a field. Deputy Greg Free was hit in the face by buckshot. He was treated and released from Huntsville Hospital. Button is being held in the Madison County Jail. A Madison County woman is honored today for her role in saving lives. The Emblem Club of Huntsville named Laura Andrews the HIMSY Responder of the Year. She was picked by her coworkers and supervisors. Laura has only been with the HIMSY team for 18 months, but she says she gets her strength from knowing just what her patients are going through.
Great. It means a lot to me to be able to get out there and help people. I understand completely what they go through. I've been a trauma patient. I know how it feels, and being there to comfort them is just wonderful.
Laura says she considers herself a silent hero and says a simple thank you is all she needs. They may not be saving lives, but they're helping people just the same. We're talking about volunteers. Today's Kiwanis Club Pancake Day raised money for the club's special service volunteer projects. Members of the Kiwanis Club donate time and money to programs like the Children Advocacy Center, also other programs such as the Boys and Girls Club, and they give scholarships to some of the city's youth. They're there when any family is in need, and now the Red Cross needs your help. Today, the Madison-Marshall County American Red Cross held its annual Safe Families Day at Parkway City Mall. The event not only teaches families what to do in an emergency, but it also helps raise money for the organization. Last year, the Red Cross helped over 200 families who lost their homes to fire. Family members are searching for a missing Madison County woman. 51-year-old Linda Edge of Tony has been missing for more than 24 hours. Her family is concerned because Edge is a diabetic and doesn't have her medication. They say the last time anyone saw Edge was yesterday afternoon walking near her Jeff Road home in Tony. If you have any information on where Linda Edge may be, please call the Madison County Sheriff's Department at the number you see on your screen. It's 256-722-7181. For 5 months, Athens police have been searching for the individual responsible for a rash of burglaries. Tonight, they think they know who's responsible. Police believe 41-year-old James Sizemore acted alone to steal more than $6,000 worth of cash and jewelry from 9 homes. An unsuspecting daughter gave police the information they needed to make an arrest.
Pulling out of my mom's drive when I had suspicions when that van went by. When he covered his face, I had suspicions that something was going on, and I was scared. So I had suspicions, and I just happened to look at that tag.
We tracked down all the maroon vans with handicap tags in Limestone County.
Sizemore was charged with 9 counts of burglary. He's in the Limestone County Jail. His bond is set at $16,000. It's the 4th day of a standoff in the Alabama Senate. 16 senators aligned with Republican Lieutenant Governor Steve Windom showed up to meet today, but 18 Democratic senators boycotted the special Saturday session. The senators are upset with Republican Lieutenant Governor Steve Windom. The majority Democrats threatened to stay away unless Windom gives them recorded roll call votes on all issues. So what does Lieutenant Governor Steve Windom have to say about the boycott? Well, Windom told supporters his first few months on the job have been a little rockier than expected.
When I decided to run for statewide office, I understood that it was a whole new ball game. But I'll have to admit that some things have occurred in the last year that have surprised me. And
Common Cause of Alabama has offered to mediate the standoff in the Senate. The group sent invitations to both camps, asking them to attend a meeting Monday morning to work out some sort of solution. U.S. Senator Jeff Sessions has joined a bipartisan push to award the Congressional Gold Medal to Alabama civil rights leader Rosa Parks. Parks' arrest 44 years ago sparked the Montgomery bus boycott during the civil rights movement. The Alabama Republican senator says Parks is a living embodiment of the fundamental principle of equality. They're sparring over a spear in Birmingham. If you've ever been to the Magic City, you've no doubt seen the Vulcan holding a torch high atop Red Mountain. Former Birmingham Mayor George Sybils led the effort to put the torch in Vulcan's hand, and he says he wants it to stay there. But the Birmingham Historical Society says the Vulcan originally held a large spearhead in his hand, and the society would like to see it returned, along with the restoration of Vulcan's 1930s-era tower and surrounding park. Country music star George Jones is on life support following a car wreck a mile from his home in Franklin, Tennessee. Jones was talking to his stepdaughter on a cellular telephone this afternoon when he lost control of his sport utility vehicle and drove into a concrete bridge abutment. It took rescuers about 2 hours to remove him from the car. The 67-year-old singer was flown to Vanderbilt University Medical Center. He has a ruptured liver, collapsed lung, and internal bleeding in his chest. Firefighters spent the day fighting to save historic downtown buildings in Lenoir City, Tennessee. As you can see, the fire was very hard to contain. A strong wind fanned and spread the blaze as firefighters tried to keep the flames from reaching other buildings. It started in a magazine distribution center and quickly spread to 5 other adjacent structures, including a historic 100-year-old hotel. The hotel, a barber shop, photography business, and a Habitat for Humanity building were all destroyed.
But Lord's got a plan for it somehow. He's got something planned. The Habitat for Humanity that's what the Lord come up with for people who can't afford houses. And Lord willing, there'll be something good come of it.
The cause of the fire is still unknown. No one was hurt in the blaze. Tennessee lawmakers want to require a new test for newlyweds, an HIV test. The legislation may also require testing for other sexually transmitted diseases. Results will be given to both the bride and the groom. The test would be conducted during the month before the wedding. Authorities tearing down a condemned house in Mississippi find a surprise in the basement. $200,000 buried in the floor safe. The floor safe contained $150,000 in cash and $50,000 in various coins. It was jammed through a concrete floor. The Memphis airport has been trying to raise the home since 1987. It's a case that's even surprised police. A nurse accused of giving her own children drugs to put them to sleep. Police think it's a murder-suicide plot that failed. You know you're living right when Lady Luck knocks on your door, but what happens when your lotto money is tied up in court? And you're lucky not to be living here. We'll show you how severe weather is plaguing other parts of the country.
I'm News Channel 19's Lilla Mariggs in the backyard. Breezy and cool, and then a chance for severe weather for us. I'll have your Doppler 19 forecast coming up next. Tonight, we're proud to serve Lacon and all of Morgan County.
You're watching News Channel 19, home of Skylake 19.
Turn back your millennium clocks and see if you remember what year was that. Albert Einstein wins the Nobel Prize for Physics. Scientists make a diabetes breakthrough with insulin tests. And Gabrielle Coco Chanel launches the perfume Chanel No. 5. What year was that? 1920, 1921, or 1922? Join us as we celebrate 2000 with the answer when we return. Albert Einstein wins the Nobel Prize for Physics. Scientists make a breakthrough for diabetes patients, and the world is introduced to Chanel No. 5. What year was that? 1921.
Be thankful you're not in New York tonight. A storm expected to blanket much of upstate New York, and at least a foot of snow blew into the western part of the state this afternoon. Just 2 days after another major snowstorm moved through the area, people in Buffalo are digging out again from another dumping of snow. Winter storm warnings are posted all across the state of New York this evening. And Lila, no snow here, but we are going to see a possibility of severe weather later this week.
That's right, and I don't know if you know it, but Dan and James Paul are at a severe weather conference. They got snowed in last night. They saw some of that white stuff in Chicago, but they finally made it to Des Moines where the conference is. Now they're looking for snow again. They could get snowed in once again. Let's take a look at current temperatures right now in Huntsville. 40 degrees, 42 in the Shoals, 39 in Fort Payne. In Fayetteville, 37 degrees. Our dew points range from 27 in Fort Payne to 33 in the Shoals. We're going to take a look at 19 WeatherNet data right here in the backyard. 39 degrees. Temperatures are going to continue to drop. We hit a high today of 62. Winds are out of the north. Very chilly at 12. And we got just over a half an inch of rain with those storms that moved through early this morning. Here's a look at temperatures elsewhere across the southeast tonight. A chilly 35 degrees up to our north in Nashville. 48 over in Atlanta tonight. 57 in Montgomery. On the satellite picture, mostly clear skies, which is going to let the temperatures drop down pretty chilly overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, a sunny day, but a cool day on the way. You can see no rain for us on the southeast radar, but we are looking for some rain to move in here by Monday evening. That's when our possibility for some severe weather will be with us. Now, just some cooler temperatures. This cool front passed through, and tomorrow sunny, but a chillier day than today. Highs only around 50 degrees, and this cool breeze will continue to blow throughout the day tomorrow. As we look ahead toward Monday night, overnight into Tuesday is when we could see some very, very strong storms. Now, ahead of that tonight, we're looking for lows to dip down into the lower 30s, again under clear skies, a chilly northwest wind at 10 to 15. Tomorrow, that wind will shift to out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour. So breezy and cool. Once again, highs around 50 degrees. Here's a look at the 5-day forecast. Those storms move in here Monday night into Tuesday, and then some clearing, partly cloudy skies on Wednesday. Thursday, clouds increasing once again, and with those clouds, the chance for some rain again by Thursday and Friday. So not a very good week ahead.
Yeah, just stay weather alert, most definitely. Thanks a lot, Lila. A Dallas newspaper uncovers a plot to kill Texas Governor George Bush. We'll tell you why the FBI never told the governor's office of the plans against his life. Police say his plans were unthinkable. A father tries to poison his own children. find out what went wrong. But first, here are your winning numbers in the Georgia Lottery.
Celebrate 2000, the new millennium with News Channel 19.
It's a case that started out with two sisters suffering from a deadly virus, but it turned into an alleged attempt on their lives, and the culprit may surprise you. 29-year-old Donald Ayers has been arrested and charged with attempted murder, child abuse, and child endangerment. Police say he poisoned his 8- and 9-year-old daughters with a chemical commonly found in antifreeze. Neighbors say it's an unthinkable crime.
Donnie would try and hurt him. But it's a sad world when something like this happens.
A preliminary hearing is set for Monday. Police say an Illinois nurse used prescription medication to put her 3 children to sleep, and then she suffocated them. Marilyn Lemick is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and is under police watch at a hospital. Police found the bodies of 7-year-old Nicholas Lamock, 6-year-old Emily, and 3-year-old Thomas when they responded to a 911 call made by the mother yesterday afternoon. Authorities say Lamock is in the process of getting a divorce from her husband, David. Another anthrax threat surfaces, this time in Louisville, Texas. Police say a man sent a letter to a Texas man and stated that the letter was tainted with the deadly germ anthrax. He opened it and immediately called authorities. A hazardous materials team and FBI agents responded immediately. No one was hurt, and there was no evidence of exposure to any type of hazardous material. Louisville police suspect this may have been a hoax, but they are still treating it as a possible terrorist threat. A Dallas newspaper uncovers a plot to kill a possible presidential candidate. The newspaper reports the Republic of Texas group plotted to kill Texas Governor George W. Bush before their 1997 standoff with authorities. Federal agents reportedly knew of the threat, but they never told the governor's security staff. The FBI says they never told anyone because they didn't think the threats against the governor were credible. Governor Bush has not commented on the report. Democratic senators boycotting Senate sessions and the proposed lottery amendment have Feedback 19 callers talking. But our first call is about a 1943 copper penny that could be worth $500,000.
Coin dealer from back in the late 60s up to the middle 80s. And about every 3 or 4 years, somebody comes out with a scheme about the 43 penny. It's a hoax. There's nothing to it.
Lieutenant Governor Steve Windham was elected by the people to operate under the same rules as Siegelman when he was Lieutenant Governor. Democratic senators are embarrassing this state by trying to assist our governor in becoming a dictator.
I don't know why the Christians of this state are against the lottery so much. They play bingo. Bingo is gambling just the same as the lottery. And two, the Christians are against the lottery so much, but they're for releasing hardcore murdering criminals like Judith Ann Neely.
Thank you for calling Feedback 19. Let us know what you think about any of the stories you see here on News Channel 19. Just call 1-800-322-9468, or you can email us at WHNT19.com. Click on the feedback icon. Have you got a headache? Why not take an aspirin, even if it's 100 years old? German drug company Bayer celebrated the 100th anniversary of the discovery of aspirin today. The company decorated its headquarters to look like a giant aspirin package. So where did the name aspirin come from? The plant that produces the drug's active ingredient. Sold initially in powder form, aspirin later became the first drug to be sold as a tablet. It was sold at an Iowa convenience store, but no one expected the dramatic story would take such twists and turns. First, a 21-year-old convenience store worker stepped forward as the $16 million Powerball winner. Then, his 20-year-old co-worker claimed she gave him 50 cents towards the ticket, and she wanted half the loot. Well, the courts ruled she wasn't of age, and they awarded the man the money. But this story does have a happy ending for her. The two decided to split the dough 50-50. So, was it worth it? Well, just ask them in about 20 years. Talk about hitting the jackpot, but this is no gambler. He's a vet. See how a little patience, big appetite proves to be costly. Auburn with an appetite for an SEC championship. Did the Tigers feed the need or just get heartburn? Rob Peary's up next with highlights, scores, and much more in sports.
When you see news happen, punch in pound 19 on your Bell South mobility phone.
Rob Peary joins us now with sports. Auburn having an incredible season, but they've been having a tough time with that one team.
Those Wildcats kind of growling the wrong way for the Tigers, I guess.
It's like the monkey on their back.
Monkey on their back, and they didn't get it off today either. A big day for Auburn. Tigers tipping off against Kentucky in an SEC tournament semifinal matchup. The Cats shellacked Cliff Ellis's crew earlier this season. Today, Auburn looking for a win, some revenge, and a chance to play in tomorrow's championship game. Sports Channel 19 sports director Steve Johnson was courtside at the big game and has the wrap from Atlanta.
The Auburn Tigers, a team trying to erase one of their few bad memories this season. They wanted to avenge an early season loss to Kentucky, but the tournament-savvy Wildcats had other ideas. The Cats scored early and often. Michael Bradley gets the layup. Scott Padgett cans the three-pointer. Desmond Allison hits from long range. This as Auburn not able to get anything going offensively. No one hitting from long range, and except for Chris Porter, no one hitting any kind of bucket for the Tigers. Kentucky gets out to a 16-point lead, the Tigers having problems.
It just came out hot, so we knew we had to get down and play hard defense and try to dig back into that lead.
At the half, the Wildcats up 11 points. Auburn shooting just 25% from the field. In the second half, Auburn looking for some kind of spark, any kind of offense. Jay Hurd tries, hitting this three-pointer. The Tigers able to get the margin to 6, but then the Cats get a little lucky. A bank shot three by Prince makes it a 9-point Kentucky lead.
If it was a boxing match, they still win. But it could have turned it around if he hadn't hit it.
The Tigers never get as close as 6 again. The final score, Kentucky 69, Auburn 57. The Tigers lose the game, but how about their confidence?
We're disappointed for now. You know, wake up tomorrow, that's a whole another different day. You have to be ready to live that day and be ready to win the next game that you play.
So the Auburn Tigers' time in this arena is done. The next time the Tigers take the court, it will be in the NCAA tournament. So the question now is, what kind of seed will Auburn get? And does it matter?
You know, the thing about a 1 is you don't have to play some of them others. If it plays out, you don't get them till the Final Four. You're a 2 seed, you're going to have to meet one of them somewhere, somehow, some way.
The Auburn Tigers will find out their seeding tomorrow evening. I'm Steve Johnson, News Channel 19 Sports at the Georgia Dome.
Thanks, boss. So who will Kentucky play in tomorrow's SEC title tilt? Well, we're going to answer that right now. Second semifinal matchup, Mississippi State and Arkansas. Hogs set to sizzle, but the Dogs frying some bacon early on. Off the miss, watch the full court heave right here. Tang Hamilton, breakaway jam. Arkansas would get cranking after that. Mr. Pat Bradley stops and pops three and keep the change. Tied at the end of regulation. We're going to overtime. Derek Hood, yes, I'll have to floss because I'm more like a boss player. Put back jam and happy birthday, Mama. Arkansas beats State 84-79. So there you have it. Kentucky and Arkansas set to go in tomorrow's championship game. The Arkansas Razorbacks have never won the SEC tourney. Sunday morning tip-off time is 11:30. Should be a good one. The top team in all the land looking to land in a conference final as well. And with a win this afternoon over NC State, the Duke Blue Devils would do just that. To Tobacco Road we go. Duke without leading scorer Trajan Langdon, the Alaskan assassin, out with a sprained foot. William Avery, the rhythm, the rip, the run, and the fun. 17-8 Duke. Second half, Avery to Elton Brand. Just a swangin'. Duke up by 10 now. Then NC State's Kenny Inge will go into the cameraman. And the cameraman waves the white flag and he surrenders. State surrenders as well. Duke blows them out 83-68. They'll play North Carolina tomorrow in the ACC final. Here's a look at the rest of today's college and NBA hoop action. Lots of action on the baseball diamond this Saturday afternoon. Let's start with Alabama. Crimson Tide fresh off yesterday's 14-3 pounding over Niagara. Today the two teams at it again in T-Town. Moon pies all around. Everybody eat moon pies. Tide doing it and doing it well, scoring a season-high 19 runs. Scott McClanahan and Eric Smallwood with 3 hits each. McClanahan had 5 RBI. Antonio Bostic blasted a double and a triple, both in the 8th inning. Bama also collecting 13 walks. Manny Torres gets the win as the Tide improves to 11-4, waxing Niagara 19-2. Some high school hardball in Huntsville today as well. The Al Smith Memorial Tournament in full swing out at Butler High School. Rebs hosting Hazel Green in a great ball game. Freezing cold, everybody all bundled up. Butler's Joey Maples smacked the home run. I missed it, but look, that's Joey's mom. She chased down the ball, and she told me all about the home run, and she was happy. Maples on the mound now gets the Greens' Chris Cooper to pop up and in the inning. Butler looking good, but Trojans' Derek Smith unconscious hurling gets Darren Eubanks swinging, turns Chris Dimasar into frozen pizza. Then Tony Childs for Butler. More frozen pizza. 3 in a row. Smith and Hazel Green all gassed up. Kid was on fire, tied at 7 after 6. Guy in the press box promised to call me with the scores. He didn't. I don't know, so unfortunately, you don't know either. Check out the rest of today's scores from around the baseball diamond. More local sports than you can shake a stick at. The Grissom Tigers in a huge matchup this afternoon on the soccer field. 2 of the best teams in the state, toe-to-toe with John Carroll kicking on into town. Barbecue day at the Tigers Den. Everybody out for some good eats and soccer treats. A little wet and sloppy, wouldn't you say? Check out the slosh right here on the throw-in. 0-0 at halftime, but of course after I left, plenty of scoring naturally. Grissom wins 2-1. Chance Layton and Joel Bartlett scored for the Tigers. Grissom girls winners as well this afternoon, 5-1. To NASCAR now, good old boys in Las Vegas, where yesterday Bobby Labonte just ripped up the 1.5-mile oval. Labonte with a track record run of 170.643 miles per hour, capturing pole position for tomorrow's race. But first, Busch. Today's Busch race, 100 miles shorter, the Las Vegas 300. And look who it is, Grand Marshal Richard Petty, the king and his showgirls. Lap 60, Jeff Burton gets by Mark Martin for the lead. Jeff Gordon and Matt Kenseth battling out for 8th place. Then Martin blows by Mike Skinner, and Mark Martin goes on to take the checkered flag. Martin wins the Busch Las Vegas 300. Last but not least, big college football news. Alabama and Auburn won't be playing ball in Birmingham anymore. Alabama AD Bob Backrath has announced a deal that will move the annual Alabama-Auburn game to a home-and-home series. November 18th, year 2000, Auburn comes to Bryant-Denny for the first time in 99 years. In addition, Tennessee will also play in Tuscaloosa starting next season on October 23rd. Then again in 2001, Alabama has to pay the city of Birmingham $350,000 for each canceled game and play 4 non-league games, 1 in each season in Birmingham after the year 2000. So no more Iron Bowl for you and your Bama friends in Birmingham.
They'll still call it that, I think.
I'm sure they will.
I think so. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Sure.
Well, who'd have thought a vet could strike it rich without visiting a casino? This one has. But the money has to go back to the dog's owner. We'll show you how the two are connected when we come back. Let's check in with Lila for a last look at the forecast.
Very chilly out here right now, Amy. 39 degrees, but the wind chill is in the teens. And it's going to be another breezy, cool day for us tomorrow. High of only around 50 degrees. And then